listening to WJHS 91.5, The Eagle. Welcome to Media in the Making, a podcast where we look at the evolution of media from the 1600s all the way to present day. In this podcast series, we ask how have different forms of media evolved and changed culture. Media in the Making, where media and culture are always changing. Now, let's take a step back in time. Have you ever wanted to just stop aging? If so, hang on, as today we'll talk about just how that may be more possible and closer than you think. Today we're talking about anti-aging drugs. Now, we all know about the fountain of youth, the mythical spring or fountain that gives youth back to the person who drinks or bathes in it. But today, it could be as easy as taking a pill. In the 1990s, Harvard Medical School began looking at the possibility of AADS, anti-aging drugs for short. Now, in 2023, the possibility of AAD is closer than ever. It'll only continue to get closer and closer. Nowadays, the closest we have is a pill known as metformin, an insulin drug for those with type 2 diabetes. Dr. Sinclair, in an interview, talks about metformin.
We know that a drug like metformin, which is, as far as drugs go, relatively safe, will delay type 2 diabetes if you prescribe it earlier. It's a very cheap drug, as drugs go. And then when I looked at the literature of other people who did studies on, one study was over 10,000 patients, veterans, that took metformin. Others, now 100,000 plus patients who have taken metformin. When they look at the risk factors and the incidence of diseases of aging, not just diabetes, but other diseases, cancer, heart disease, frailty, Alzheimer's, their chance of getting those diseases went down as well, which is what you'd expect from a true longevity or what some would call an anti-aging drug. And here's the striking thing. Those patients were healthier having diabetes than people who didn't have diabetes. And that's remarkable. So what does that mean for people who don't yet have diabetes? I think it should be even more effective than those people who have been studied. It does have side effects that can be severe, but for most people, the most you'll experience is an upset stomach, which I'm prepared to tolerate and mitigate with the benefit of potentially having a much healthier older age.
AADS has been trying to go for ages, even before modern technology that we have today. People have been trying to make AADS since the 1940s. However, there have been many and many hiccups. The benefit of AADS is the fact that it can prevent illnesses and slow aging. A living fountain of youth pill to say, which would be relatively easier to get access to than an actual fountain of youth. The prevention of illness would be able to make people be more healthy. The slowdown of aging will keep people young and active. Some of the controversies about AADS are that the FDA registers them as illegal drugs, and AADS are treated like performance-enhancing drugs and hormone-changing drugs like testosterone, essentially making it unavailable to athletes. The path we have gone from searching for a fountain of youth to making a pill has the ability to slow or even reverse aging has been in itself quite an interesting path. 5 centuries ago, in the 16th century, people tried to find a fountain. Now, in the 21st century, it could be as easy as a pill. Where do I think this could go? Well, we could possibly end up with it being just as available as most things now. Or the chance the big rich would keep us away. And the fact we do not fully understand the side effects of these drugs, whatever the outcome, anti-aging drugs becoming a thing is on a horizon, and they are coming rapidly. However, After all of this, is anti-aging truly achievable? And would it be the best thing? Only time can tell.